Oh, dude, I'm not even in here.
You're good.
Where's the draft link?
It's in draft info. Okay, so we're live. Okay. What's up, everyone? This is Intensify and Red Panda here. We got Royal Vagabonds versus BaeDCarry Fan Club today. How you doing, Red Panda?
I'm doing pretty good. Just got home from work. Ready to freaking watch this. I'm actually excited. I really enjoy casting zero kills games. Specifically, last year, I thought he was one of the better ADCs in the league. So I really actually enjoy casting him. But we will see how this all plays out. I think, if I'm recalling correctly, this is not the game. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm tripped up. This has been a freaking minute. This is how you know it's been a minute for me. Yeah. I don't know what made me think that the babies was supposed to be here, but I was super confused. But it's actually not. It's BaeDCarry Fan Club.
Yes. Yeah, we have Royal Vagabonds. This is BaeDCarry Fan Club. This is week 8, so we only got this week and next week worth of games. We will be finishing up, kind of trying to decide who is going to be in the playoffs.
Yep, and we do see, I don't know if you have the draft pulled up, so I'll just list it off real quick as they're picking off. We do have BaeDCarry Fan Club having Vayne hovering Nautilus right now. Opted to first pick the Udyr, but the Volley, Nunu, Lulu, Seraphine, Sivir, and Galio are all off the board. So...
Yeah, so I mean, I like Royal Vagabond's first pick Udyr. We saw Mr. Cat last week absolutely destroy on that pick. Very, very strong, one of the best B1s at the moment, I think. But BaeDCarry Fan Club reacts in a very, very weird way, in my opinion. They got Vayne Nautilus. And I don't know if, they've been testing out the whole Nautilus jungle thing, but Vayne Naut is, in my opinion, like, probably bottom 20% of lanes that you want in bot lane, especially blind picking. So I don't know if they got something up their sleeve, but it kind of makes me uncomfortable seeing that.
Yeah, Nautilus isn't too bad with the Tristana, but I do agree. I'm not a big fan of Vayne Nautilus myself. When I play Vayne, I don't really look to play those types of champions. Usually, I mean, the lockdown's kind of good whenever you're having it. It kind of sets you up a little bit, but I don't really look to have the Nautilus. But Nautilus jungle is a thing right now. It's coming back since like the first time he was released. And I've seen some mixed results with it, but I'm pretty interested to see if they actually do pull that out.
Yeah. So we do see Tristana picked up, and let's see what else RV picks on B3. Already very strong.
Leona.
They go Leona, which, in my opinion, should be pretty strong here. I do think they probably have the leg up against the Vayne Nautilus. Of course, Trist is a flex, but most likely just going into the bot lane. So far, RV's draft is looking very strong. I wonder how BFC is going to react with this.
Yeah, right now, too, I think the big thing... Oh, it looks like Morgana. So that will be a Nautilus support. I don't really see Morgana going into the support position. I think she's a way better... I think she's a way better jungler than she is a support right now, and the same with Nautilus. I think he's a way better support than he is a jungler right now. But we haven't seen, really, right now.
I don't really understand because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but she just got a pretty big nerf to her jungle clear.
I think, yeah, she did actually. I completely forgot about that.
Just got, I'm pretty sure she went from 185% damage to minions to 155%, which I wouldn't expect her to still be getting picked jungle, like, consistently. It kind of means to me, like, the jungler is comfortable on it and doesn't have other picks that he has prepared, but we also, like we said, it's also possible that Nautilus could be jungle. Like, we don't actually know.
Yeah, I think also having the two, like, the tank and the bruiser in this right now really kind of plays into the Vayne too. Especially since Nautilus has not Nautilus, Udyr has a really hard time ganking a Vayne. It's really not that hard to evade gank whenever you're Vayne from a person that literally has to run up on you to do anything, because it doesn't really matter how fast he's going to run. You just have to condemn him away and find a way to get out unless you're just uber pushed up.
I would agree with you normally if it's just Udyr that she has to worry about, but she also has to worry about Tristana jumping, Leona, Zenith blading, ulting. There's a lot of stuff going at that Vayne to where if she's if she's pushed up at all, she could get killed really easily. And also, she doesn't have the wave clear to match the Tristana push, so she is probably going to be under tower often, and like they have a really scary dive as well.
Yeah, definitely Leona ult under tower is like one of my least favorite things to see in bot lane, honestly, whenever I'm playing against it. But yeah, Tristana just naturally will push with her passive on her E. We do see also the Echo, Akali, and Vel'Koz getting banned here. Royal Vagabonds might be opt. Yep, they opt to ban the Yone.
Yeah, that's interesting. We do see a lot of mid lane bans here. There are still a lot of, as far as I know, pretty strong top laners as well. Kind of interested to see what we're gonna see on the top side. I wonder if BaeDCarry fan club is gonna pick a more bruiser like top laner here instead of something like a tank. I prefer that, but I also they do have, what was it? Is it Nightmare now in top lane?
Yeah, they have Nightmare now. Asian Invasion is still mid. Looks like I think. Okay, they're not gonna pick the Tom. They don't pick the Tom.
Okay, and Lee Sin is a great pick. Lee
Yeah.
Sin's a very strong laner right now. He can be flexed at either top or mid, so I really like that pick.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely going for the first pick here. They don't know who to pick it against. They can flex it back and forth, and two of their better players on their team, Asian Invasion and Nightmare, are probably pretty proficient in the champions, pretty OP and higher elo. So it could go either way for them.
Yeah, no, I think we did see a small nerf to Lee Sin in solo lanes, but it's not going to be big enough. His E went from flat 8 seconds to flat 9 seconds, which like I said, it's just not going to be a big enough problem to make him not strong anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to do a good enough job to stop his wave clear, honestly.
Yep. We do see Set generally, as far as I know, it's roughly an even lane. Top lane, it could be slightly Lee Sin or Set favored depending on who's the better player, of course. But I would say it's generally a somewhat even lane. They're gonna need some AP here, I think, from Royal Vagabonds. So let's see what Conquer is gonna pick up.
Yeah, it also, yep, Silas. I was actually just about to say Silas. Silas is actually one of my more favorite picks right now in the mid lane. Just because, like, a Bruiser Mage is just so scary to me, honestly, and he kind of just is the way he can build right now. So I hate going up against that, at least. I don't know how you feel, but it's always just really scary. And he has some good ults to take. There's not a lot of knockups, so you're not going to, if they do pick the Yasuo, it's not going to happen. But a Lee Sin kick, the Morgana, he's always going to be in the middle of team fights, Nautilus. So, I mean, be kind of troll take Vayne, but that's still 3 really good ults to take from. And they might give him another one with the Veigar.
Yeah, I don't know. The blind Silas is interesting. Normally, when you see the blind Silas like that, you have a top lane, like the enemy has a top laner that has like a really good team fight ult, like an Ornn or a Malphite or something. But there are okay options for Silas as far as his ult goes. But I think at the very least, Silas can be a diver, which fits the theme of the rest of his team. Which, I mean, if that's the reasoning behind picking him, I think it's great. I just don't think like using him because the enemy has good ults is a good enough reason. But I think it's a fine pick. They do respond with the Veigar, which is decent. It provides a lot of counter engage. I just hope that BaeDCarry is gonna have enough initiative in this game to if they're able to get a lead, to push the lead, because this team almost seems super reactive where you're focused on the Lee Sin like popping off if you need to.
Yeah, definitely. I think Veigar's also, I mean, Veigar's a good pick into Silas specifically because he relies on being able to go in on you, and just a well-placed cage just completely shuts down anything he wants to do. So the Silas has to play it pretty safe because Veigar damage in the mid game is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah. So. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I think Veigar is definitely going to be, his cage is going to be super important in these team fights, and if RV can find a time where they can waste his cage and then go in afterwards. That's probably what they're looking for. Whereas if they try to all in and Vigar gets his cage down and they're jumbled up, I'm sure it'll give plenty of time for Morgana to get her W damage down, for Vayne to get a couple of autos off, and maybe turn around some of this hard engage from RV.
Yeah, I do also kind of like the set pick a little bit. I don't the set pick a little bit into the Vayne because he can sustain it for just like a shred longer. But they do have a lot of people that are tanky bruisery, and I'm not too keen on that. When you have a Vayne, you want to be able to chunk her down, which Tristana can, but at the same time, like if you play front to back, Vayne's I feel like is most likely going to just be able to chunk down anybody she wants, and that's almost like the free first kill of the team fight for her. So I'm not too sure about having, certain picks into this with a Vayne that you knew was going into this, fairly early on before you even picked the Leona set or the Silas. But
yeah, I think that if I were BaeDCarry fan club, and I were to redo this draft, I would most likely have just stuck Morgan. Like if they wanted the Morgana, which obviously they did, if they picked it R3. I would have just took more Gleason, R1, R2. Hide kind of your bot lane so that you can have something that's stronger in the 2v2 than just a Vayne Nautilus. But I mean, like I said, maybe they have something I don't really know about. Maybe they're about to pop off in this bot lane. I think that Trist is a pretty good answer into Nautilus though. Like being able to if he gets R'd, just W away is pretty strong.
yeah, the massive mobility when you have a Nautilus is just because he pulls you halfway. It's really more effective than almost any other hook champ you can have. But I don't know. I'm actually kind of favoring Royal Vagabonds in this, even though the Vayne can do a good front to back. It just seems like if Royal Vagabonds plays the way they want to, the only champion they're really worrying about when they want to engage is the Vigar, as you said. They have some disengage also with the Lee Sin and Vayne Condemn, which really won't stop a lot of people. There's plenty of people that can catch her right now in this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, honestly, I would definitely give the edge to Royal Vagabonds in this draft. I don't want to be like a doomsday expert, but I would say it's probably close to like a 75% chance that they win this game just based off draft, in my opinion. Obviously, anything can happen, but I think looking at it, bot's gonna be perma shoved in. It's gonna be hard for them to do anything for BaeDCarry fan club. Lee Sin's gonna have to really pop off in this game, I think. Like all the initiative has to be on him, and if you have, if all your initiative is on one person, that means execution has to be perfect, and we're not perfect players. This isn't LCS, and it's gonna be difficult, I think, for BaeDCarry fan club.
Yeah, especially with him going up against a set has, some pretty decent sustain when you're trying to chunk him down, especially with his W, like, where are you going to kick him to? Stuff like that. Like, I feel like set just, it's not very good to have the Lee Sin into the set. He obviously didn't know that there was going to be a set in the top lane, but still at the same time, when you're really wanting to try and pop off, like, at the same time, set has really good harass, just like Lee Sin does. He has, the ability to stain out stuff. So I don't know. I think, yeah, if that's what they're playing the win condition through, it's not the best of win conditions for him right now.
So.
Oh, Nautilus mid. What?
Okay. Yeah.
No, they changed it. I saw the look on your face when I saw that.
I was intrigued.
I mean, Doin beat it up. If that's what you want to do, man. I mean, that was 2 seasons ago that he did it, but
I think the Nautilus mid would make their team significantly worse.
Yeah. Because what we just gave the advantage to in mid lane for BaeDCarry just completely goes away.
Yeah. So, I think interestingly enough, I would say that if they can catch someone early, BaeDCarry has a slightly better level 1, where they can look for a pick. So I would kind of like to see them, invade for vision or something like that. look for a Nautilus hook into a Morg bind or something.
Yeah, I think if they invade, they probably could come out on top. Just depends on if, landing skill shots, everything like that. Just with the nature of Nautilus alone, usually sets up pretty good level 1s for you. And they really, level 1, they're not going to have the disengage that they would have later on in the game. So I definitely agree. I would like to see an invade from them. If you can, hand over an early kill to the Vayne or the Lee Sin, get some stacks on Veigar. I mean, even getting stacks on Veigar early, I mean, you had more than you had before, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think at best, we could see like a pick early, from BaeDCarry fan club. But if that doesn't happen, like you said, maybe a stack or two on Veigar could mean something. Honestly, we're most likely just going to see a 5-point. And I believe, if I'm thinking about this correctly, Morgana, so to get her fast clear before was already like, it already took a decent amount of practice. And now with 30% less damage, or I guess it's technically like 15%, I honestly think Udyr is going to have a faster clear than her. So
He will.
I kind of am expecting to just see Mr. Cat get a lead coming into the early game of this game.
Yeah, I just chalked the Morgana pick down to just because it was so OP that, Requiem's probably played it so many times that, just comfortability at that point. So he's probably just played it so much that, because there hasn't been a lot of time to adapt to all these nerfs, and I don't think it's going to gut it completely. Like, Morgana jungle's been a thing, it's just not been as popular of a thing, it's just been super niche. So,
Yeah.
So but yeah, Udyr will definitely have the better clear with the Phoenix stance. So.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but have we have yet to see a Rumble jungle, right? In the league? Or have we seen one?
I think we saw one. I do not remember.
Yeah. So looking at
think.
You think? Yeah, I could see maybe one. So looking at the results of MSI in the last patch, it was looking like Udyr, Rumble, and Morgana were like the most picked junglers. But what would happen was, generally it seemed like Udyr was a counter to Rumble, and so Morgana was like the correct response. But like I said, now that Morgana is going to be slightly behind in clear, I would probably say that she's probably like an A/B tier jungler now. Like, because before she had, she had the clear speed going for her, but all she has now is like a Q that is really strong. But other than that, like if you can dodge it, it might be kind of hard to do anything with her.
Yeah, especially since if you're good enough, like a Morgana Q is really not that hard to dodge, especially if like someone's not right on top of you.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it's never been the super effective thing about her. I mean, even at MSI, we saw plenty of people completely miss their Qs. It was a huge meme among the casters for how many people would miss their Qs. So, I don't know. I don't like it because the clear is going to be real bad compared to Udyr.
This has been like the third time this happened to me, but I'm having troubles loading into the game.
I'm at 94%.
Yeah, I'm at 0. I've had to reset every single time, so let me try to do that real quick. And then I definitely should worry about it, because last time I wasn't able to load in at all until I restarted.
Yeah, so we'll just restart, just for precaution.
Yep.
But yeah, all across the map, other than, just purely mid lane, I mean, across the board, I feel like everywhere except for mid lane, if Veigar plays it out correctly, they should have the advantage. Royal Vagabonds should have the advantage in playing early.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that it's possible where if Morgana gets a good gank timing mid, like Sylas is probably just dead. You know, if he goes in with the knee to try to get a short trade, like there's going to be a lot of follow-up CC and damage. Same thing with top. I think more ganking top with Lee Sin should result in a dead set most of the time. I'm most worried about this, you know, 2v3, 3v2 bot lane for BaeDCarry fan club.
Yeah, I definitely think that they should be trying to make plays across the map other than, you know, I mean, Nautilus isn't the best for roamers, but even then, like, you're just going to be shoved under your tower if you don't play it out correctly. So, yeah, we should be loading into the game here in a second. We might need to pause it, but I'm just at 0-0 right now.
Yeah, same.
So, yeah, so now I'm here. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. So we are lined up real quick. So we should be getting into the game soon. I expect a 5.2. I don't think anybody's going to try to do anything crazy.
Well, there are a lot of pings headed mid for RV. Talking about items and runes real quick. Runes look completely fine around the board. The only thing that might be talked about is like Electrocute out of Veigar, which is fine, and Press the Attack out of Vayne, which is also fine. I mean, there's, I think, Hail of Blades and maybe Lethal Tempo that you can take on that.
Vayne is typically a Press the Attack, but it's Tristana you would want to look at for the Hail of Blades, but I don't think it's that bad on her Kaisa anymore. But those were the two champions they were targeting pretty heavy for it.
Right.
But
yeah, we do see Press the Attack Tristana, which is I'm assuming a newer thing now because Hail of Blades got a 4-second nerf on its cooldown. We do see the Darksteel refillable start for Sylas, which is it's newer to the later half of the spring split amongst pros. They like it because if they get early kills, they can snowball. On top of that, they get free potion charges. We do see a call start out of Vayne, which I'm not a big fan of. You're already down a heal. So between heal and the Doran's Blade health, you're down maybe 150 health at least in the bot lane, which could be kind of scary, especially against the all-in of them. But we do see Exhaust out of Leona, which is just kind of... I would have much rather took Ignite and just went to just absolutely destroy them.
Yeah, we see some early fights coming out here from the Set and Lee Sin. Already trying to punish him a little bit. Does have to watch out. The trade damage is equaling out a little bit. So, but Set's just going all in, big boss man. So.
Yeah, that's definitely what you want to do with Set early is try to get as much health out the enemy laner as you can, because he does get that passive regen off his passive.
Yeah, both of them do have to pop a potion. Nightmare does hit level 2 first, but it looks like Big Boss is going to try and retaliate. He does have to back off. He's close enough to his tower, and he's taking the minion damage. So both of them chunk to about the same HP. Level 2 is at the same, but now he does have his upgraded Q. Just big skirmishes coming out, and it's just chunks of HP just coming out.
Yeah, but Nightmare coming out slightly ahead of that. He's up on CS, and he does have also natural sustain in this lane once he hits 3.
Yep, we could see, no, just chunk down a little bit more. He is coming out of these on top, especially having the W, so we are going to see the level 3 both hit on them at around the same time. The wave is pushed under him. He does have to watch out being this pushed up. Like, against a Set, if he does have his W up, you're still trying to chunk him down. It's not a bunch of energy you're going to stack on him, but still. Like, you want to be pretty careful being under that tower.
Yeah, and Udyr is up here. It's kind of bad that Cedra wasted his stun so early.
Yep. So it looks like they are going to go in here. The flash is taken out, but the first blood does go over to Big Boss Man right there, as we do see some stacks also getting onto the Veigar. Big trade there right in the mid lane, getting those stacks and chunking him down to such low HP. But we do see a TP coming in from Lee Sin in the top lane.
Yeah, and what's happening is super interesting because they actually spotted out the Morg here. They had pressure in bot lane, and it looks like they're giving over this Scuttle now.
Yeah, they do have to jump over the wall. Udyr is not there yet, but he is on his way down. Tristana's going to try and double down on this. He does not
Vigar
get the
takes
scuttle,
it.
but neither does Morgana. So, but Udyr trying to run in here. Gotta be
Yeah,
careful. His Morgana Q is up. He does not want to extend too far. It looks like they're just going to go back to their lanes. Morgana
and
going
that
back.
I know that they got scuttle, but that actually benefits RV quite a bit. Morgana didn't clear her topside camp, didn't get either of the scuttles, and also had to wait around for at least another minute. Whereas Udyr is still on the map, still able to take stuff, and I'm pretty sure RV's bot lane was being pushed towards them, which means that they have slightly more CS and XP to get at this.
A little bit poke coming on through the bot lane, but one thing want to point out too, so you have the Lee Sin come in too. It looks like they're gonna try and back off. Nightmare not wanting any more off of that. He does lose out on the trade, but Morgana's health was really low while she was taking that scuttle. That clear was not healthy for her at all.
Yeah, good sidestep out of Damar.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to engage on top of Vayne. She has to flash away, but the bomb is on her. It's going to take out a good amount of HP, but it's not going to kill her. Morgana coming down. 2 people are low. Set is coming over to try and skirmish with this Lee Sin again. Should make it out of here alive, but the game is paused in the middle of 2 fights.
Yeah, it looks
That's
like Asian
interesting.
Invasion did get a DC, so we will be waiting on him real quick.
Yeah, that pause is kind of questionable. There was no fight in mid, if I'm correct now. So, doesn't really matter too much for mid lane. I would have probably waited that out.
Yeah, so let's talk about the game a little bit. Udyr hasn't backed yet, but he has two camps over Morgana, and they have spotted Morgana being bot side. So if Udyr can catch out this Morg, it could